Everyone. This is just an opening YouTube instructional video about the final presentation, the practice redesign presentation in MHA621. I'm giving it to you during the first week of the course so the work can begin, and especially so the teams can start getting acquainted with each other and start talking about this. This is the culminating activity in the course. It is worth the most amount of points from a weighted perspective. And the idea is to um, begin working on this slowly but surely throughout all of for the semester. So this is really the instructional information at the very end. I have just randomly, you can tell, through alphabetical order, divided you up into teams. So three teams of three, one team of four. This will be um, the essentially the big team activity. Um, what you are required to do is, first of all, think about a practice, a medical practice, a dental practice, an optometry practice, any type of healthcare practice that at least one of you on the team is familiar with. So it could be a practice that you yourself or a member of your family or a child goes to, pediatrics, or perhaps it is a specialty practice that a older adult in your family goes to. For some of you, it could be a practice that you previously worked for, but I'm not, I'd really be interested for any of you not to, if you do work at any type of practice, not to put that on the list. So, not a practice where you currently work, um, but certainly it could be a practice where you used to work. But one of you should be familiar with it. So it should be relatively, whatever the practice is, it should be geographically close to one of you, because in this presentation that you'll be doing, you'll have to show some pictures, which means you'll have to get permission to um, uh, engage in the practice. And if you're a patient there or a family member is, it's usually easier. Now, we're not going to break in the middle of the night and take pictures. Really just want you to ask. Obviously, pictures without patients in them, no need to have staff in them, or anything like that. But the idea behind this is a redesign. Um, and this all stemmed, and you'll see in the folder where this came from back in 2021, an Indiana gynecologist sent out a tweet. This is before Twitter became X, um, about how really he was interested in suggestions to make his practice more efficient, to make it friendlier. And because he was a gynecologist, he was interested in women who had their perspectives, not just his patients, but all of them. And he received thousands of responses. Now, what he was essentially asking was for the user perspective. And these users are not healthcare professionals. They're not clinicians. They're not experts in billing and reimbursement. They are patients or family members of patients. And so this presentation is about you as a team coming from the perspective of a user, which we don't do very much. I mean, I think many of you or some of you have experienced remodels, redesigns, new builds, or you're part of a team that had to be engaged in that. I certainly have that experience, but it was always with my healthcare hat on. Um, this is going to be a little different. You can see you're basically going to create a poster. You're going to all of your team will be on Zoom. You're going to record that Zoom, and that's the final outcome. Essentially, you're giving me a Zoom recording. But the poster will essentially have all the different criteria, which you can see in the rubric, This also needs to be in a smart brevified format since you've all been introduced to smart brevity. Um, it will encompass the rationale for the prac design, opportunity for improvement, redesign strategies, and implication. I will create a second YouTube video to go more in depth about those things midway through the course. Um, but it's from a user perspective. But the first thing is to decide which type of practice and you'd like to incorporate or like to redesign. Now, the second thing in team presentations that I've been requiring in my courses for years now, uh, it is very helpful, just like it is in real life, to have a lead, a team lead. And that, so it could be a project lead, it could be a team lead. I called it any of those things. Essentially, someone who takes the lead. And that individual will, let's say, set up meetings between you, because my guess is it might not be synchronous, it might be asynchronous meetings. It might be gathering information for the poster rubric. It might be communicating with me if there's any questions. Um, Everyone is involved in this, but the lead really is the convener, the organizer, and this. Now, the lead doesn't have to be the individual who says, I'd like to suggest my practice or a practice that I'm familiar with being part of this. It may make sense, it may not make sense, um, but there needs to be a lead in this. So that's some basic information. I'd like you to first also check out the tweet, the New York Times article about where this idea came from. There will be another YouTube video halfway through going through this, and I will be connecting with each team just to check up, probably midway through the course as well. Again, this is not due until the end, it's the last activity. Um, but want you to get going right now, at least begin connecting with your practice redesign team. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.